Happy Victory Monday, you guys. Happy Victory Monday on Monday night. It so happens, if you're watching this on Tuesday, Happy Victory Tuesday, or whatever day you're watching this on, victory. 4-0. 4-0, you guys. We're heading 4-0 into the bye. Being down with our first two, our number one and number two receivers. Didn't really matter that much. We were going up against a horrible defense, like I said in my last video. The defense cannot stop the pass. And they were so-so in the run game. Yeah, they did hold Aaron Jones to under 100 rushing yards, but that's kind of their strength of their defense, as we knew going into this game. If there even really was a strength of their defense, really, it was just flat out terrible. And unfortunately, the Falcons were also down a few players in the secondary, so that just added more salt to the wounds of the Atlanta Falcons. So, just bad all around for the Atlanta Falcons. Great for the Packers. I think this game was dominated from start to finish. At the times where the Falcons were able to show some life was obviously on defense on that goal line stop from us going up 14-0 to start out in the first quarter. Instead, it wound up being 7-3, where the Falcons kind of came back, roared down the field, took a field goal with a backup kicker. So that's kind of what made things look somewhat even to start out. But I think from top to bottom, this was the Packers all the way. A dominating performance by the offense yet again in scoring 30-plus points. And this is one of the few teams that have been able to score back-to-back 30-plus points 4 straight games. That is amongst the Packers from 2016, the 2010 New England Patriots, and last year's New Orleans Saints. Fun fact, if you just didn't see that on TV on NBC, or ESPN after the game. So it's a pretty elite club to be able to score 30-plus points in 4 straight games. This offense is just tremendous. Aaron Rodgers, amazing. We all know that. The people are raving all over Aaron today, and pretty well earned, I must say. Very well earned. His final stat line, 27 of 33, 327 yards and 4 touchdowns, with 3 of them going to the man of the game, Robert Tonyan, in my opinion, with an outstanding hat trick. And that was on 6 catches for 98 yards. Stellar game by Robert Tonyan, stepping up when we were down. When we were down for weapons. And of course, our running backs also kind of came in and also did a good job of stepping up, like I thought they would. Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams, that duo is pretty unstoppable in the passing game. Jamal got 8 catches for 95 yards. Aaron Jones 5 catches for 40 yards, and the touchdown to go ahead to start up 7-0. Just a really, really good game, and even some of our young receivers were able to get into the act. Marquez with 4 catches, 45 yards. Darius Shepard with 2 catches for 21 yards, but on that one catch, he should have scored, but he fell short of the goal line, and that's what set up the goal line stand by the Atlanta Falcons when Aaron Jones was dropped short. That play, I thought that was the right call to go for it on fourth and inches at the goal line. That was just a really good stand by the Atlanta Falcons defense. So I really like the aggressive play calling by Matt LaFleur, going for on 4th down. Sometimes you make it, sometimes you don't. And there's just some things that the Packers can work on going forward, is managing those 3rd and shorts and 4th and shorts. That is something that is probably something you can do. You can bring in some extra blockers and whatnot. Just try to string up some plays where it's not quite as predictable. But at the end of the day, it's all about execution, as opposed to how instead of those little shortcomings, they can always be worked out. It all comes down to execution, and that's how it is. Just a way to step up when you're down several players. We've been down Devontae for the last several amount of games, and we've been down Kenny Clark, but the defense has been able to step up and be able to play well enough to win, really. But this defense today didn't do that. This defense was very good from start to finish. Very good from start to finish, except for maybe the garbage time yards, but that's kind of expected when you're playing prevent defense. So, and props to Jair Alexander and Kevin King when they were on the field. I'll include Chandon Sullivan in there. When they did a good job of locking down on Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley. So great performance by the cornerbacks. It really felt like for quite a bit of time that throughout most of the game that Matt Ryan was being stopped. At one point, he was only down to just 155 yards going into the fourth quarter before of all these garbage time drives where he was able to rack up 285 total yards, kind of similar to what happened against the Saints last week, in which it was all garbage time yards where Drew Brees was able to rack up to over 280 on us last week. So all the garbage time yards are coming by virtue of the team being down and needing your quarterback to be able to step up and get some yards in garbage time. Todd Gurley was held down to 57 yards on the ground with 16 carries, but was averaging 3.6 yards on the ground. So the run defense is still pretty weak, but it did do better than it has to start out the season. Hopefully, with Kenny Clark coming back into the lineup and for the next in the next 2 weeks going up against Tampa Bay, hopefully that will change maybe a little bit as we have to go up against a trio of running backs that they have. Of course, you have Leonard Fournette, who they just picked up off the Jacksonville Jaguars. Ronald Jones, look out for that guy. And then you have LaShawn McCoy, who isn't getting much of anything with Tampa Bay. It's mostly been Jones, mostly been Fournette. And then you have Keyshawn Vaughn. I forgot to mention Keyshawn Vaughn is another one of those guys that'll get into the mix for Tampa Bay. But enough about that game. Enough about that game. Great victory for the Packers. Stellar game. Like I said, if this offense continues to fire on all cylinders, this is definitely a dangerous team, and definitely one of the teams of the NFC. And with a defense that might be able to have a chance to step it up, we could be looking at a deep playoff run again. There were definitely some signs showing that the defense did improve, and for today we were able to stop Matt Ryan for the most part, and then Zadarius Smith came in and got 3 sacks on the game, and then that was really, really good to be able to see Zadarius be able to make some plays in this game. Not much really coming from Preston Smith. I'm puzzled as to why he's not really making very much plays this season. I guess it's probably because he's being primarily used in coverage. That has been not very much of a strong point for him. I guess maybe teams must have figured out Preston or something like that. Either way, it would be nice to be able to get Rashawn Gary back, as he was missing. He was missing from this game due to an ankle injury he suffered last week against the Saints. Hopefully, with the bye week, we can be able to get some of our players back again, healthy and ready to take on Tampa Bay. And hopefully Rashawn Gary will be healthy as well. So, because we could use some pass rush. And yet again, I'm just gonna finish this off with a Go Pack Go. I'll catch you guys later.